بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Let's finish up the rest of complete linguistic analysis of لله على الناس حج البيت. Al-Qira'at, there are two variant recitations. Hijjun, which is Hafs an Asim, which is the most popular nowadays, and also Hamza and Al-Kisai and Abu Ja'far and Khalaf. So these Qurra, these reciters of the Quran, and you can recite the Quran in any one of those recitations that are the seven mutawatir, they read Hijjun. So when they recite this verse, they read Hijjun. However, the rest of the variant recitations, the rest of the Qurra, they read Hajjun. So when they recite, they say Lillahi ala nasi Hajjul Bayt. Hajjul Bayt. So the Lugha, the language supports both of them, and Hajj and Hajj bima'nan, as we will study in the next section, which is the section for Al-Lugha. This is where we go into the dictionary definitions, not semantics based on sarf or nahu or balagha, but semantics based on dictionary, the original thing. So let's do this word Hajj first, since we're talking about it, then we'll come back to the word Allah. Hajjun ma'nahu al-qasdu, intending to make the intention للزيارة أي زيارة بيت الله. So that's the meaning of Hajj. Hajja yahujju hajjan wa hijjan means al-qasdu liziyara, to make an intention for visitation of something. Of course, in the context of the verse, we're talking about ziyaratu baytillah, al-Kaaba. Al-Hajju lughatu ahli al-Hijaz, the people of al-Hijaz. Al-Hijaz is what is now Western Saudi Arabia, which is Makkah, Al-Madinah, and Ta'if and surrounding areas. And Al-Hijaz is a very special geographic region. It has special status. It has the greatest holy lands, Makkah and Medina. And the people of Al-Hijaz, Quraysh, for example, they said Hajj with a fatha, whereas the people of Najd, Najd is Eastern Arabia, the people of Ahl Najd said Hijjun. They said Hijjun. So what's the difference? Well, the dominant opinion seems to be وَاللُّغَتَانِ بِمَعْنًا وَاحِدٍ. The two languages here, al-lugha here doesn't mean language as we know. It means dialect or code. بِمَعْنًا وَاحِدٍ, with the same meaning, one meaning. They both have the same meaning. وَقِيلَ بَيْنَهُمَا فَرْقٌ. One opinion states that there is a difference between Hajj and Hajj, and they go on to saying one is mastar, other one is ismul mastar, or something along those lines. But that's a qila, meaning it has been said, meaning that I didn't think, and it's not considered a majority opinion. The majority opinion, the dominant opinion, is right here, right here. Al-lughatani bi-ma'nan wahid. One meaning, meaning that there's no difference. You can say Hajj in the everyday language, we say Hajj. But in the verse in the Quran, it says Hijjun, according to these Qurra, these reciters. Well, the Baqun, the rest of the reciters said Hajj with a fatha. Next, let's look at the word Allah. The word Allah, there are two opinions. One opinion is that it's just what it is. Originally, it's the word Allah. It's not derived, mushtaq, from any other word. And it's a proper name for Allah. The other opinion is that it's actually a shorthand, a contraction of Al-Ilahu, the God, Al-Ilahu. the opinion that I lean towards is that the word Allah is original, not mushtaq, not derived. It's defined by Al-Halabi. You know, Al-Halabi is the famous As-Samin Al-Halabi. He died in the 8th century Hijri. He wrote the amazing, authoritative, advanced work called Ad-Dur al-Masun, Ad-Dur al-Masun, and that book has really been a lifesaver for me. I reference it a lot, almost every day. I look at it multiple times. And it's one of the most authoritative classical and encyclopedic linguistic analysis of the Quran. He combines all the different, he brings fawaid from all the branches of Arabic disciplines. He says, Huwa alamun, alam is proper name, ala al-ma'bud, for al-ma'bud, the one that is worshipped, bihaqqin, the one to whom we do ibadah. The word ibadah, and I've mentioned this before, abada ya'budu, u'bud, ibadatan, is often translated as worship. But when I look at the dictionary definitions of the word ibadah, I see a slightly different picture. The word ibadah has two meanings mentioned in classical dictionaries of the Arabic language. It means at-ta'a, obedience. Obedience is the first meaning, and the second meaning is ghayatut tadhallul, utmost humility. Ghaya, utmost, at-tadhallul, to make oneself dhalil, humbled, humiliated. Humility. That's the original meaning of abada ya'budu. So al-ma'bud is the one to whom we obey and we humiliate or humble ourselves in the utmost way. They translate it as worship. But to me, the word worship, yeah, we worship Allah in the sense that we go and pray and we do ask Allah. But the true meaning of ibadah is at-ta'a, obedience, and utmost humility. لا يطلق على غيره. It is not appropriate to use it for anyone else, this word Allah. It's not used. لا يطلق. It's not used for anyone else. ولم يجسر. And no one has dared or traversed or ventured into. Jasara yajsuru means to traverse, to venture into, to dare into. And from that we get jisrun, which is bridge. Lam yajsur ahadun, no one has ever dared, min al makhluqin, from the created beings, an yatasamma bihi, to be called with it. In other words, to be called with the word Allah. So that's what we're going to say about the word Allah. Now, one thing that came up as a result of a question from a student is this shibul jumla bihaqqin, in truth or truly or deserving, because lots of things are worshipped, meaning obeyed and humbled in front of, whereas Allah is the one who is obeyed and humbled in front of, with truth, in truth, truly, or truly deserving. Because if you remove this, there's a big problem. Because al-ma'bud yu'badu ma yu'badu. Tu'badu ashya'u kathiratun wa asnam wa aliha. So many things are worshipped, right? But bihaqqin, no. كلها تعبد بباطل بالباطل إلا الله. And al here is interesting. Al, it can be interpreted to mean alladhi, ay alladhi yu'badu. All right, let's continue on to, and of course, you can also turn this, interpret this al as al-jinsiyya, al-istighraqiyya, lil-afrad. Let's continue on to the next part, which is baytun. Look at the word baytun. We've looked at the word baytun before, right? We looked at the word baytun right over here. Al-bayti is mudaf ilay, majroor. And then it's also maf'ul bihi lil masdar. So grammatically, it's mudaf ilayh majroor. Morphologically, it's maf'ul bihi lil masdar. Okay, that's the word bait, right? That's all we said about the word bait. But now, what does it mean? What is the dictionary definition of the word bait? We understood it sarfan, morphologically. We understood it grammatically, nahwan. What's the lugha? Asluhu ma'wa, shelter al-insan. It is the shelter of the human being, the place where you go to at night, laylan. Wa majma'u shamal, it brings everyone together. Okay. Thumma, so that's the meaning of the word bait, which we translated as house or home. And bait can also mean a room. A room can also be considered bait. It's the place where you return to seek shelter at night, and it's a place where it's coming together. ثم أطلق على كل بناء. That's the asl. The asl lughatan is a shelter at night, a place of coming together. Then أطلق. Then it has been used to refer to على كل بناء, any building له سقف, any building that has a roof. Okay. قال ابن عاشور في تفسيره رحمه الله. Ibn Ashur is absolutely one of the greatest, uh, almost modern, I would say, towards the end of, just before modernity, if you will. He died in the year, he passed away just over a century ago. His uh, the year of death is 1393 Hijri, and we are right now in 1444. So that's just over a half a century ago. So he is one of the last great modern, if not pre-modern scholars. And his tafsir is one of my favorite tafsirs to go to because of the amazing fawaid lughawiya, amazing benefits, linguistic benefits. He extracts from all the Arabic ulum, disciplines of Arabic language. So he mentions this in reference to this word. He says, Al-Ka'batu baytun banahu Ibrahim alayhi salam. Limadha لعبادة الله. This lam is lam al-ta'lil, lam harf jar, lam al-ta'lil. Why? لعبادة الله. So people can obey Allah and people can humble themselves, utmost humility. Wahdahu, just himself. Duna sharikin, without any partners. Faya'wi. Faya'wi. So you have the word ma'wa, which is ism al-makan, ma'wa. For the mudari, it's ya'wi. Awa ya'wi ilayhi, right? To ma'wa is the place you return to. Man yadinu, whoever, the word dana yadinu here is the verb for the word religion, bit-tawheed. So whoever does religion with tawheed, whoever wants to practice religion with tawheed, وَيَطُوفُ بِهِ, and goes around it, you go around the Kaaba. Man yaqsidu, whoever intends ta'zim Allah ta'ala. Ta'zim is to aggrandize. So ta'zim is to magnify, to aggrandize Allah ta'ala. وَلِذَلِكَ, and for that reason, أَضَافَهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. The word Bayt, Al-Kaaba, the word Al-Kaaba is called Baytu Allahi. There's mudaf alayh. Baytu Allahi, the house of Allah. That's idafatun tashrifiyya. This idafa indicates tashrif, ta'zim. It's not just some ordinary house, it's Baytullahi. باعتبار هذا المعنى, with respect to this meaning. And he also said, إذا كثر عهد فرد من أفراد جنس. So let's say there's a genus, and we talked about genus when we looked at al, And there's a lot of members of the genus. One of the members of the genus has become very famous because we frequently reference it and we have knowledge of it. Kathura ahdu, or it's been a long time since that, or it has been used for a long time. One particular member of the members of the jins is frequently mentioned. Baina ta'ifatin, among a group of people or qawm, sara ismu jinsihi. It becomes the meaning when you use the word al-ma'a, when you refer to it with al-ma'a, al-ahdiya, kal-alam. It becomes like a proper name. So when we say, what he's trying to say is that if I say al-baytu, al-baytu, right? The house. In Islamic context, al-baytu, the house, is Baytullah. Why did it become Baytullah? Because it's used a lot for a long time. كثر عهد فرد من أفراد الجنس. We've been using the word al-bayt a lot to mean not a jins, but a specific member of the genus. And among a group of people, which is Muslims, it's like, in that case, Sara becomes ismu jinsihi ma'a al-ahdiyya kal-alam. This ism of the genus al-bayt, because of al-ahdiyya, it becomes like a proper name. So al-bayt is like a proper name. Fal-bayt, this is what they call alamun bil-ghalaba in Arabic grammar books. Fal-baytu alamun bil-ghalabati ala al-Kaaba. And this is why the house has become a proper name bil-ghalaba, because of overwhelming usage. Ala al-Kaaba. So when I say al-bayt, I'm talking about al-Kaaba. I'm not talking about the house that I just saw or the house that I'm living, unless, of course, there's a context that supports that. Nasun is the last thing we'll talk about. Nas comes from the fi'l nasa yanusun, al-madi, al-mudari, and then masdar is nausan wa nawasan. There are two masdars. Yadullu ala al-ittirab. It indicates ittirab, disturbance, wa tadhabdhub, going back and forth, wavering. Al-ittirab is disturbance, and tadhabdhub is going back and forth, like a thubaba. You know, thubaba is a fly that comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. So if a person is doing tadhabdhub, we call him mutathabdhib, somebody who keeps changing their mind. They come, they go, they're wavering, they're going back and forth. So that's the root meaning of the word nasa yanusu nausan wa nawasan, from which the word nasun comes. Wa nasa shay'u, and again, this is all coming from Arabic dictionaries. Nasa shay'u tadhabdhaba. If something is described as nasa, fi'l madi, then it means tadhabdhaba. Tadhabdhaba form 12. Tafa'lala means, as I said, to waver. Yes, no, so changing their mind, coming, going, not firm or established. Fanasu, so this is my opinion. This line is my opinion. This first line is dictionary definition. From this dictionary definition, I extrapolated this opinion of mine. Fanas, therefore the people, muttaribun, people by their nature are muttaribun. They're in a state of disturbance. Mutadhabdhibun, they're wavering. Bain al-haqqi wal-batil, between truth and falsehood. Wal-imani wal-kufri, between belief and disbelief. Wat-ta'ati, obedience, wal-isyan. So this is how human beings are. We obey, we disobey. Some people go from one extreme to another. They go from iman to kufr or back. Some people, they waver between truth and falsehood. This is a hint that I extracted from this definition of the word nasa yunusu, because the word nasun is used to describe people. This is what people are. Subhanallah. Arabic language is deep. It's amazing. So much intelligence and wisdom and knowledge is built into simple words that we take for granted. So that's how we're going to say, that's all, right? We've spent 6 lessons talking about just this. Lillahi ala nasi hijjul bayt. And this is not even the full verse. So imagine now you can see how vast of an ocean this language is. What's next? Next, I want you to review all of this and then get ready to take this quiz. There's no practice. I have not designed a practice exercise for this, not as of now at least. But I think if you read this again and go through all of this and you're able to explain, do all the linguistic analysis of Lillahi ala nasi hijjul bayt based on sarf, nahu, and al-balagha and al-qira'at and al-lugha. You need to memorize some of these important facts about lugha from the lugha and qira'at. Then inshallah you'll be ready for the quiz. There is a quiz that will inshallah serve as an assessment. You're welcome to take the quiz again if you don't do well. والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.